we're off. So we got both players going as fast as they can here. Not too many mistakes so far. Both driving seems pretty good. Brian going up. Oh my gosh, and Bisso hits a mole right away. So Brian's got a pretty big lead to start us off here. 25.51 to 26.80. It's a 1.29 second lead for Brian. We'll see how aggressive Bisso takes this now. Oh, Bisso goes into the bridge, coming up to the second set of moles here. Brian takes it wide. Bisso takes it a little bit more aggressive, but we'll need a lot more than that to take back that time. Lap 3 now. Can Brian hold on to the lead? They both passed the first set of moles. Coming up to the final set here. See if Brian hits one. Ooh, kind of went close to one there, but Bisso hits another one, but Brian will take it. So 116.13 to 119.20. So Brian taking the first track here, up to an early lead. We'll see what the counter pick is from Bisso. Yeah, we got a classic Toad versus Toad battle here. Oh, I guess there's a delay. I'll maybe if the players put their times in here, it'll work out. Bisso picks Toad's Turnpike. So now we've got a Toad versus Toad on Toad's Turnpike. Bisso definitely has the better time here, but I know Brian's put some work in here recently. He beat me here last time we played, so we'll see how this goes. Both players start at pretty much exactly the same time, which is nice. So, one interesting thing about Toad's Turnpike is a lot of players like to use different mushroom strats here, especially during one tries. They'll go for a little bit safer, more riskier strats. Most of the mushroom strategies are similar speed. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Brian using a mushroom there. Both players coming up to the end of the lap. see if anyone uses a mushroom. Brian with a lead of just 0.28, but Bisso has that extra mushroom, so we'll see how that goes. Neither player using a mushroom there. Bisso almost banging off the guardrail into the bus, but keeps it clean enough. So using a mushroom there, we look to be pretty even now. Bisso might have a slight lead, but we'll see what that's like by the end of the lap. Brian using another mushroom there. Looks like he'll be doing 1-1-1 with that spot. Oh, Bisso using a mushroom there, but banging into the guardrail. So this should give Brian the lead. And Bisso bangs into the guardrail again. Brian picks up another 09 there, so his lead should be 3-7 now, and he has an extra mushroom. So this is his race to lose, I guess. But on Toad's Turnpike, you know, the mushrooms aren't too big of a deal. If Bisso has good enough driving, I think he can make back that ground. Brian coming up to his final mushroom spot. Looks clean enough. Coming up to the end of the lap here, we'll oh, Bisso hits the last truck, but Brian takes it. So just enter the times in now. So Brian taking an early 2-0 lead in the first set. Pretty exciting here. Oops. We'll see what his next pick is. So will Brian go for his best counter picks, or with the 2-0 lead, will he maybe save one for the second set? That would be interesting. Just waiting on the pick now. A lot of interesting tracks Brian could go. Pretty interested to see what he picks. And he goes to DK's Jungle Parkway. This is one of the highest variance tracks in the game. Both players have fairly strong times here. So this will be pretty interesting to see. Both players readied up, and we'll do the countdown.
Okay.
So a lot of different parts to this track here. Bisso going with a really aggressive jump. Both players make their jumps. Bisso having a much cleaner mushroom. Brian getting caught in grass a bit there. We'll see how the players approach the cave here. This is one of the other high variance sections of the track. Of course, the approach to the ramp. Oh, Bisso looked like he kind of was getting stuck there, but he will hold a 0.45 lead, it looks like. But of course, 0.45 is like nothing on this track. Oh, and Bisso just gonna go straight into the water there. Brian with a clean jump. And he just has to have a clean run. So we'll see if Brian's watching Bisso stream and has a safe jump lap 3. Not much Bisso can do now, just drive his best and pray, I guess. Brian coming up to the final ramp jump. Takes it fairly safe, and that should secure him the win, basically. Bisso going super aggressive, and he'll make it. Taking the final cave, and he will finish with a 1:59.70, taking track 3 and up with an early 3-0 lead now. So we'll see where Bisso goes now. Now, one interesting thing from their last set, Bisso did make a reverse 4-0 on one of the sets. They had some pretty crazy back and forth. So Bisso going Banshee Boardwalk. Interesting pick. We'll see how it goes. Pretty technical track, lots of tight corners. Just waiting for both players to ready up, and we'll start the race. We'll start at pretty much the same time. So yeah, lots of technical corners here. So there are a couple different spots players can use the mushrooms. The fastest spot is to use the drop down after the zigzag part of the track. But if some players feel like they might mess that up, they'll use the mushroom at the end of the track on the last corner. So the race looks to be fairly even, although Bisso just bumps into the wall there in the bat house. So I think Brian has a slight lead right now. 36.11 to 36.73, so Brian's got a 0.62 lead now. So this is a fairly comfortable lead, but I mean, a lot can happen on this track. Lots of walls in the way, lots of spots where you can fall in the water, the mushrooms of course. Both players not having the cleanest mushrooms there, so Brian should have a similar size lead, I think. Alright, Brian with a 36 flat and Bisso with a 36.65, so Brian with like a 1.27 lead now. Coming into lap 3, his race to lose pretty much. Just have to not make any huge mistakes. Bumps into the wall. Bisso with a clean trim though. All of a sudden this is seeming more and more doable, getting closer and closer. Bisso right on his tail now. Can he make the comeback? I think Brian's gonna hold this, but we'll see. Brian with a 148.67, Bisso with a 149.36. Brian will sweep the first set 4-0, and we will be going into set 2 now. Alright, moving into set 2, we'll see what Bisso picks now. So Toad's Turnpike and Banshee Boardwalk out of his track pool. Of course, the tracks do reset after every 2 sets, so they reset at the start of set 3 and the start of set 5. And Bisso starting it off with Yoshi's Valley, so high variance pick here. Should be pretty exciting. I'd say this is a pretty big momentum track as well. If you can win on this track, you have all the momentum. Both players readied up and we're starting the race. So yeah, there are lots of things on this track. There's all the spinies, the hairpin jump, a couple different pathways people like to do. Play it safe, play it aggressive, should be pretty exciting. It's like both players not having the cleanest start, but looks fine. Oh, Bisso bangs off the mountain into a spiny, so Brian will have an early lead here. Takes a pretty safe hairpin jump, Bisso taking it a little more aggressive. Bisso has the egg in the way, he has to bounce off the fence. So Brian should have a pretty big lead here. Finishes with a 30.07 to a 32.92, so huge lead. Brian going aggressive again on the second lap. Dodges all the spinies. Bisso not too clean. But you know, if Brian takes the safe lap 3, Bisso falls off the mountain. So yeah, Brian just has to play it safe now, and he'll have this race wrapped up. .31.59 on lap 2, and we'll see if he goes safe lap 3, and he does. I think he almost like jumped off the mountain, but yeah, he's going safe here. I guess Bisso will try and go as aggressive as he can. Hope Brian falls off the hairpin. Brian takes the hairpin and he makes it. So looks like Brian's got this one wrapped up. Yeah, Brian killing it right now. Finishing with a 134.73. Alright, we'll see where Brian goes next. Let's see, his pool a little smaller now, losing DK Jungle Parkway and Moo Moo Farm. We'll see if he keeps the theme of high variance picks. Brian going with Mario Raceway. I'd say this is like a medium variance track. Most players are decent at it, but sort of the Division 3 meta evolved into everyone going for the mushroom cut on every lap, which is interesting. So let's see, I'll talk more about that soon. I'm just gonna do the countdown. Yeah, so at the start I think it was only Haddock who was going for the mushroom cut all 3 laps, but then it saves like half a second, so then we all started doing it. So it makes it a little more high variance. I think most of us are hitting it around 90% of the time, but we'll see what happens here. Both players being into it. Bisso gets through though, so he'll take a lead. Yeah, should be a lead of a few seconds here, so he should be able to play it safe after. I'm not sure if he's watching though, so we'll see about that. 27, 22, 30, 75, but Bisso hits the ball. So yeah, about a 3-second lead here. Oh, and he's going aggressive. So, you know, if he goes aggressive lap 3 and messes it up, then Brian can take the race. Oh, he bounces off the wall there on the mushroom, so Brian will gain some time. 26:53 for Bisso. Yeah, Brian picks up 1.3 seconds. So I don't know. Bisso has to make some mistakes. Oh my gosh, he goes to the mushroom. Does Brian make? Oh my god! I think Bisso's got him here. He is close though. If he messes up the mushroom, yeah, looks like Bisso will take the race. 126.74 to 127.50. Insane race. Bisso on the board now. 1-1 in set 2. That was pretty ridiculous. I think I jinxed everyone pretty hard. I was talking about how we all make it like 90% of the time, but maybe 33% is more accurate. So 1-1 now. We'll see what the what Bisso's next pick is here. Is it going with Frap Snowland? So this track's got some variants as well. Got the snowman, got the mushroom. A lot of players can go out of bounds if they take that mushroom aggressively. Snowmen are in lots of spots that can mess you up. So yeah, both players are going with a lot of high variance tracks. It's a lot of fun to watch for sure. Alright, both players ready now, and we'll do the countdown. Starting a little one. Both players starting with the AB spin start here. Alright, coming up to the mushroom here. Going through the first batch of snowman. This will go. Oh, Brian going right into the snowman. So Bisso's got an early lead here. We'll see if he can hold it. So I believe hitting a snowman loses a couple seconds, maybe a little over 2. So we'll see maybe if Bisso makes some mistakes and Brian has really clean driving, he can bring it back. Or of course, if Bisso hits a snowman, then Brian's right back in. Alright, Bisso taking the mushroom. Both players playing it pretty safe, going right and into the snow after. Alright, coming into lap 3 here. Bisso holding a pretty solid lead, although Brian gaining a little time there. We'll need a lot more than that, though, on lap 3 to gain back. Coming up to the final mushroom here. We'll see if Bisso can have a clean one. He goes left, but yeah, it's fairly clean. So it looks like he will be taking this race. Oh my god, he almost went off the bridge. And he will finish with a 144.69 to Brian's 147.33. So Bisso taking the lead 2-1 in set 2. Not sure what's up with the frames. Let me mess around quickly. Usually, Landlord's internet is very good, but looks like it might be messing up right now. Alright, hopefully this is a little better. Alright, Brian picks Wario Stadium, and both players ready up. We'll count down. Alright, so Wario Stadium, the second longest track in the game. Bisso hopping it and kept clipping the top of that hill, so we'll lose a tiny bit of time there. But yeah, like I was saying, it's the second longest track of the game. Very technical track, lots of corners you have to take very tight here. Fast MTs are a huge plus here as well. And then there's this mushroom spot, which can be technical as well. You have to try and not go wide, and if you try and cut it too tight and hit the wall, it can really mess you up. So the race looks to be fairly close right now. Yeah, both players have seen the occasional MT and bumping into the walls here, but other than that, it's been fairly clean. So bumping into the wall, so I think Brian definitely has the lead right now. He should finish with a decent lap here. Finishing 1:15.28 to Bisso's 1:16.15. So, Bisso almost banging a wall there and tumbling, but luckily didn't. But he does have a lot of ground to make up, 0.87 I believe. Yeah, Brian definitely driving much cleaner here. Coming up to the second mushroom. Ooh, gets the trad. Very solid there. Bisso bumps into the wall. Yeah, Brian's got to have a lead of a couple seconds by now. Alright. Coming up to the hill. Yeah, Brian's got about close to 3-second lead, 2.5, 2 3/4. So we'll see if he can hold that going into lap 3. As long as he keeps it clean, he should be fine. He has a 1:14.86, solid lap there. Yeah, Bisso with a 1:16.56. Yeah, so Brian keeps it clean, doesn't tumble on the mushroom. He should be pretty much fine here. Tied up 2-2. And I'll go back to Bisso's pick. Oh, Bisso tentacles. Yeah, not too much Brian can do. It's his race to lose right now. Whoa, Brian almost tumbles. Bumps the wall a little on that on those hills there. So coming up to the end of the race, we'll see what type of time Brian gets. I wonder if he'll be sub 3:45 or not. Coming to the finish line, barely over. 3:45.16 for Brian, and Bisso coming in with a 3:50.22. Alright, going into race 5, Bisso's pick. Lot to think about on this pick. 4 tracks gone from his track pool. Does he want to go high variance, low variance, track that he's better ranked on, or a track that he thinks he's more consistent on? We'll see it. And he goes with Koopa Troopa Beach. So we'll see how this goes. The obvious variance point being the ramp jump here. So just waiting for both players to ready up now. And they are both ready. We'll count it down.
Okay.
So yeah, both players going inside the turtle, which is the faster route here, which I guess most people don't know. And then also the ramp jump here is in our non-shortcut rule set, despite what some people might not think. Oh, Brian mushrooms into the wall, so Bisso should be taking a lead here. Oh, I must have missed something, but Brian's up 0.3. Yeah, so we'll be coming up to the second ramp jump soon. Bisso goes off that ramp. So very close race right now. Should be pretty exciting. Both players make the jump. I do believe Bizzle's taking the lead back. Oh, and he definitely has there after after Brian bounces and spins out on the tree. Ooh, looks like Bizzo almost hit a crab, but he dodged it. So yeah, Bizzo with about a 1.9 second lead right now. Brian's got a lot of ground to make up. Bizzle could lose this lead by spinning out on a tree like Brian did, or missing the ramp jump. So we'll see if he hits it here, and he does. Bangs into the wall, but it looks like he's got this race locked up. Just finishing up now. Dodges the sidesteppers, and he will finish with a 125.12 versus Brian's 126.59. So Bizzle taking a 3-2 lead now. So this will be set point. Will Brian be able to win 2 in a row to take the set back? We'll see. Anything can happen with these two. I'm interested to see what Brian's next pick is. He's definitely been picking high variance all day, so I could see a lot of picks here. Maybe Sherberland. I don't know. I think I saw him warming up on Bowser's Castle earlier as well. Maybe he'll bring out a Joker. I think he'd probably save the Joker, actually. Lots of options here. What will he come up with? Banshee Boardwalk it is. I believe Bizzo picked that earlier, so pretty interesting going back. Should be pretty exciting. Both players ready now. Alright.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, like I said earlier, very technical track, lots of corners that you have to take very tight. We got the zigzag and the first mushroom coming up here. Both players did the drop down shroom pretty well. I guess getting a little more used to it after last time. So pretty even race right now. Bizzle clips the guardrail a little, but don't think it cost him too much time. Bizzle with the 35.89 to Ryan's 36.05, so he's got like a... Oh my gosh, he had a 0.16 lead, but now he's in the water. So Brian, who I know is watching Bizzle's stream, should be able to play it safe now and hold this lead. Going into the water loses a huge amount of time. Oh, Brian looked like he took that jump a little risky, but he held on there, so yeah, Bizzle just has to hope Brian messes up a lot. It'll be interesting to see how much going to the water exactly is here. Brian with a 36.94, so he didn't have the cleanest lap either. Oh yeah, it loses a ton of time. Brian's got like an over 7-second lead here. He'd have to fall into the water himself, but yeah, he's playing it really safe. Jumps over the crack. Only one spot left to fall into the water. Last corner. Shrooms around it. and we'll drive straight into the sunset. So 3-3 now, going into track 7. Should be pretty exciting here. Yeah, if Brian wins this, he'll go up 2-0. Would be a huge advantage for him. But if Bisso wins, he'll tie it up 1 set each, and yeah, should be pretty exciting if that's the case. I mean, both players very capable of winning pretty much any of each other's counter picks, so it's a pretty crazy matchup. Yeah, anything could happen. Even if Brian does go up 2-0, Bisso could definitely make the comeback. Bisso going with Rainbow Road, the longest track of the game. Brian says boo with 5 zeros after hearing that, or 5 O's after that pick. Alright, both players ready. So yeah, longest track in the game here. Both players' PR is just a little over 5 minutes.
Okay.
Messed up. Alright, so yeah, lots of M-team here. Of course, the main obstacle on this track being the chomps. Another point of variance, I guess, would be the shroom spot. Most people do the uphill shroom on the dip down. That's the fastest spot. It can be a spot you can easily mess up though. You might not get the drift. You could go into the wall. Looks to be pretty even so far. I believe Bizzo's got a slight lead though. I think his PR is like, I think it's a couple seconds better, but I could be wrong. Anyway, Bizzo looking like, yeah, both players look like they had a fairly clean motion there. Emptying up the last spiral here. It'll be interesting to see what their times are. I do believe Bizzo has a slight lead, but Brian keeping it very close for sure. Oh wow, very close. Bizzo only up 0.22. Oh, Brian looks like he kind of went into the guardrail on going for the tran there. So yeah, Bizzo with a very small lead. Brian could easily make it back. Yeah, very good lap for both players. I know Brian definitely wants to punish Bizzo for picking this track. I know a lot of players think that hitting a jump is like justice for picking this track. So we'll see if it'll happen. Brian driving pretty well though. Could win without that, although Bizzo is pulling away a little. Looks like his lead is maybe close to a second right now. Alright, coming up to the second shroom here. Bizzo's looks pretty good. Brian's as well. Bisso going wide at the chomp. Oh, Brian tries to go inside. He gets hit by the chomp. That's pretty rough. Gonna be very tough for him now. If Bisso hits chomp though, then he'll be right back in it. We'll see if that's the case. Maybe Bisso will mess up his drift and like fly off, trying to do the tread. Maybe his controller will break down out of nowhere. You know, anything could happen. So yeah, Bisso with a pretty huge lead now. Over 4 seconds. Pretty clean driving from him. I wonder what his PR is, and if it's possible he could break it here. I know his lap 2 is a little slower than his lap 1, but his lap 3 is looking pretty good right now. I didn't see his tran though. So yeah, well, we'll see how his final mushroom is. He had pretty good first 2 mushrooms. Coming to a final shroom spot now. Ooh, that was very clean. Got it off, and he's like still in the middle of the track. Didn't even come close to the wall. Alright, coming up to the last few MTs. The final corners. Finishes the race with a 5:02.30. Bisso taking the set 4-3, so both players now tied going into set 3. So 1-1 in sets now. Should be pretty exciting here. Last time they went to set 5, game 7, so it looks like this match might be going in the same direction, which is pretty insane. Players are so evenly matched. We'll see what Brian's pick is. He's got first pick. The track pools do reset on set 3 here, so it'll be pretty interesting to see what the players learned from the first couple of sets. Will they be going off that data? Will they be going off their previous sets? Just waiting on the pick here. Last sets, Brian picked a lot of high variance tracks. See if he goes for them again. Moo Farm, DK's Jungle Parkway. And he will go Bowser's Castle. So yeah, he's keeping that theme of high variance, going for another high variance pick here. I did see him practice it earlier before the stream started, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Both players starting close to the same time. Maybe Brian slightly ahead. Alright, yeah, so high variance track here. Oh, Bisso messing up the mushroom a bit. So Brian will take an early lead now. Although, not that big a lead. He will still have to drive pretty cleanly. Coming down to the stairs. Ooh, Brian bumps into the wall, and I think Bisso just took the lead, so this is getting pretty interesting now. Very close race. Looks like Brian had a cleaner spiral. Both players hitting the drop down MT there. Coming to the lap 2, let's see what they have. Brian with a 38.66. Bisso with a 39.66 and 39.80. Oh, Brian hits the thwomp. So Bisso taking the lead now after a very close lap 1. Driving pretty cleanly. Brian will need him to hit a thwomp here. Stairs are fairly clean, makes it around. So, yeah, next point of high variance won't be until lap 3, so we'll see if maybe Brian can pick up a little ground until then, but looks like he'll need him to hit a thwomp or maybe fall into the lava. This was the 38.36. Very nice lap 2. Oh, it does mess up the mushroom a little though, so I don't know. Brian will need a little more than that. Bisso's driving looking pretty clean here. Dodges both those swamps, gets across the bridge, and yeah, he's looking to be the winner of this race. We'll see if Brian can make a miracle comeback here. But, it'll be interesting. Yeah, Bisso gets the drop down MT and will finish the race. 156.82. Brian's 158.24. So fairly clean race from Bisso there, other than those mushrooms, but most of the driving looked pretty good. So Bisso with the early 1-0 lead in set 3. Very even match. Brian only down 1 game right now. Anybody's match. We'll see what type of pick Bisso comes up with here. See what he learned from first 2 sets. Bisso going with Luigi Raceway hasn't been picked yet, so this should be interesting. Both players ready.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So the most common strategy on this track is to do a 1-2-0 mushroom strat. So it'll be interesting to see what players do here. I know Climate, player in Division 2, he does 1-1-1 here, which is interesting. So far the race looks to be pretty even. Both players coming up to the first mushroom now. I think Brian's might have been a little cleaner there, and 30. Oh wow, 0-1 difference right now. So Brian with a 100th of a lead. So this should be a very close race. Both players coming up to the second tunnel. Ooh, Brian hits the dirt a little. Oh man, this is such a close race. Oh, Bisso messing up his line a little. I think he had a slight lead until that. This is insane. Oh man, Bizzo with an 0-1 lead now. Going into lap 3. Wow. Alright. Finishing lap, coming into the end of lap 3 now. Both players neck and neck. Oh man, I think Bizzle might have a slight lead, but it's very close. This should be very interesting to see. The race finishing now. Oh, Brian takes it by 0.15. What a race. Wow. So 1-1 now in set 3. We'll see where Brian picks. Insane race, wow. That was super close. So both players winning on their counter picks to start off set 3. Brian going back to Moon Farm. Of course, Bizzle hitting a mole the first time, so pretty good pick, I think. Both players just readying up and set the fireworks off. The moles, of course, most obstacles are cycled in this game, but the moles are actually RNG, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, this should be pretty exciting. Very high variance track because of that. Yeah, two very evenly skilled players, high variance track. Should be pretty exciting. Yeah, 1-1 set 3. Pretty insane match. Both players coming up with the first set of moles here. Both taking it pretty cleanly. Both getting the hop with the MT after. Bizzle looks to have a slight lead, not by much though. Coming up to the first mushroom now. Bizzle takes it a little more aggressively than Brian, going inside that outside one. And he will have a 0.54 lead now. We'll see if Brian can bring it back. Of course, the moles are super high variance, so it's easy if Bizzle hits one, but the driving on this track is fairly high variance as well. A lot of technical hops, I would say. Oh, and Bizzle hits a mole. Brian taking the lead now. I don't know if it's by too much. 1.2. He's got about a 0.7 lead, so Bizzle could certainly bring this back if Brian takes it safe and he goes for like a YOLO shroom. Oh man. It looks like he's gaining on him already. Coming up to the final mushroom here, it's gonna be exciting. Oh, and Bizzle hits a mole. Oh man, and Brian will take it, and he will be up 2-1 now. Pretty exciting race, 116.95, and then Bizzle finishing with a 119.09 after that last mole hit. So Brian will take the lead 2-1. So we'll see what Bizzle's next pick is. Will he tie it up here? It'll be interesting to see if he goes to his pre-match plan and picks something like TT. Oh, and he does. Alright, so even though Brian won Toad's Turnpike set 1, Bisso going back there. So both players just readying up. Uh, yeah, of course, Bisso having a little sloppy last time. Hit a truck at the end and went into the guardrails on some mushrooms. But certainly, if he prepared for this track, then could be a good pick. Both players ready now. Do the countdown.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, so both players use a different mushroom strat here. Brian goes for 1-1-1, using the mushroom sort of after the uphill part. Oh my god, and Bisso goes into the car right away. So Brian picks up a couple seconds already. Yeah, so Brian likes to do 1-1-1 just after the uphill. We'll use a mushroom around the corner there. And then Bisso goes 0-3-0. Using all 3 mushrooms on lap 2. Mushroom spots don't make a huge difference on Toad's Turnpike, they're all pretty even. But yeah, this will be interesting to see. Ryan got a lead from the car hit, but if Bisso drives clean enough, he might be able to make it back. Although Brian with a pretty clean lap 1, finishing with a 51-21. Bisso with a 53-54, so yeah, Brian's got a little over 2-second lead here. Bumps into the guardrail, but dodges the bus still. Bisso clipping the guardrail a bit as well, might have lost him a little time. Both players even mushrooms now. Ryan's still got a fairly big lead. We'll see what it's like at the end of this lap. Brian will still have a mushroom left, but I think yeah, Bisso won't have any left by the end of this lap. I was waiting for him to use it there. He'll be using the final one here, I believe. Or not, oh, he's saving it, alright. So, yeah, Brian's still got a lead here. You know, lots of stuff can happen though if he clips guardrail on his mushroom. Bisso's not too far behind, only a couple seconds. He's using his final mushroom here. Looks to be fairly clean. Both players missing an MT. Or Brian Moore missing his hop. But Brian using his final mushroom here. Still got the lead, but you know, lots can happen. This is the final section of the track is the most traffic heavy, so he does have to dodge the most traffic here. And he hops third fine, and he will take the race 2:33.39 to 2:35.94. So Brian up 3-1 now, and the pick goes back to him. So he's in a pretty good position to win set 3 here. Of course, the match though being a best of 5, still very far from over. Especially with both players being so evenly skilled and pretty much being able to win on any of each other's counter picks, which is it makes it pretty exciting for sure. We'll see where Brian goes to the 3-1 advantage. I know Brian plays lots of shortcuts as well, with Bisso playing much less, so Brian will have a small advantage being able to have a Joker pick. Alright, Brian going to Mario Raceway. After last race, that was pretty insane, so we'll see if we'll have something similar. Both players missed the mushroom cut twice. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, they both missed it twice, and then the race ended up being like super close. It's
Okay.
pretty crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, so the mushroom cut being the point of main variance here. Uh, Hopping through it saves about half a second, so pretty much everyone in our division does it. Brian gets through much more cleanly, so it looks like he'll take a slight lead here. Although the race looks very close, Brian has a cleaner last corner, 25-14 to a 25-46. So Brian's got a 0.32 lead. Coming up to the second mushroom cut here, we'll see what happens. Oh, Brian misses it. Bizzo gets through cleanly. Based off of what I've seen, though, Bizzo doesn't look at the screen while he plays, so I think he'll go aggressive lap 3, so that could leave an opening for Brian to get back at him. Bizzo with a 24.88 there, very, very strong lap. So yeah, Brian will need him to mess up here. Bizzo going for it, and he gets through cleanly, and his race to lose now. Only thing he could do, which I've done before, is mess up the mushroom, where like he gets stuck. Oh man. If you like go a little more inside than he did, you're like, oh, Brian giving up. I thought he's giving up, but he's still going. Alright, Bizzo finishing with a 1:15.81. Pretty strong time there. That lap 2 especially was very nice. Brian backing into the finish line. So 3-2 now. And the pick goes back to Bizzo. So if Bizzo wins on his pick here, he'll tie the set up at 3-3, and we'll see a game 7. And anything can happen on game 7. We've seen these players with lots of game 7s before. It's actually pretty crazy. Their last set that went set 5 game 7. I think like three of their sets in that match went to game 7. It's pretty insane. Anyway, Bizzo going with Choco Mountain. I know he improved his PR here to a 1:38, I believe. So he does have a pretty strong time here. Not too sure about Brian's time, but we'll see what happens. Bizzo going for the fastest mushroom spot around that second corner there. That's actually a pretty hard mushroom spot to hit, especially in a one try. So I'm surprised he went for it. Brian will be going around the last corner here, or not the last corner, but here. Anyway, Bizzo looks to have a slight lead, although the race is fairly even. We'll see how the hills go. Bizzo has clean hills, Brian does not. So, I think Brian still had the lead though, if I read that correctly, by 0.12, very close race. So yeah, the hills are a huge part of variance on this track. If you get clean hills, it saves around like a third of a second. Ooh, Brian clips the top of that on the jump, so Bizzo will gain back some time. I believe he's in the lead, but yeah, I think it's around like a third of a second maybe, for how much clean versus bad hills can save. Both players with good hills on lap 2. Bizzo picking up 0.43 there, versus Brian's 0.12 lead previously, so Yeah, now Bisso's got just a little under a third of a second lead, but very close. Brian could easily bring this back. Uh, I think Brian's been taking some of these corners cleaner, so it actually looks really close right now. We'll see if both players get clean hops around here. Ooh, Bisso goes in the wall a little. This is going to be a very close finish. Going to the last corner. Oh, Bisso gets good hills. Brian does not, and that might have made the... I was a little off. Brian wins by 0.2. Wow, super close race. Especially with the hills at the end. I thought Bisso might have taken it right at the end there. Pretty insane race. Brian will take the set 4-2, and now he's up 2-1. So the pick will go back to Bisso here. So set 4 should be pretty interesting after that set. Tracks are not reset again until set 5, so we'll see what new picks the players come up with. Bisso picking Royal Raceway. Yeah, the rules are non-shortcut, so that includes the wall climb. Both players readying up. Although players do get one Joker pick, so one time in the entire match they can do a shortcut, which is pretty interesting. Brian is the only one I expect to use a Joker here, actually. He has a much more filled out shortcut time sheet. This only has a couple times. I know Brian's taken shortcuts seriously enough in the past. He has some pretty good times filled out. So on Royal Raceway, one big part of the track will be that hill cut there. So it looked like Brian actually had the lead before that, but Bisso had a nicer hill cut and took it back. And then the mushroom, of course, I believe Bisso took it a little tighter there. I'm not entirely sure though. Maybe I'm just being fooled by the zoom in versus zoom out. Anyway, the race looks to be very even coming down from the ramp. Bisso going into the grass a little. Alright, coming to the last corner of the lap, both players neck and neck. We'll see what their splits are. 49.09 to 48.98. Brian's got a 1-1 lead here. So insanely close, especially for such a long track. I think Brian missed that MT though, and Bisso had a much nicer hill cut, so I think Bisso's got the lead back, but just by a little. So coming up to the second shroom, we'll see what the players' shrooms are like. They both look pretty good. I think Brian's was a little tighter this time, actually. Brian trying to go get 2 MTs around that corner, but doesn't look like it. Anyway, Bisso will be finishing the lap with a slight lead here. Oh wait, I thought so. I might be wrong. Oh, you know what it is? It's the zoom out versus zoom in. So zoom in is slightly more laggy. Anyway, Brian's got a 1-1 lead here, so insanely close. Should be super exciting to see what the end of the lap is like. Both players having a fairly clean mushroom. Brian misses his MT on the ramp, so and doesn't go for the other one. So and Brian might be going to the grass here. Oh, misses it. All right. I think Bisso has the lead, but I'm not entirely sure after what I saw there at the end of lap 2. Yep, 127.11 to 127.70. So, yeah, Bisso with a very strong lap 3. Brian with his weakest lap there. So Bisso gaining back that time, and will take a 1-0 lead in set 4.
Select map.
Brian going back to Wario Stadium after a big win there last time. His driving definitely much cleaner there. Almost had a sub 345, which is nice. Bisso, though, maybe a chance to redeem himself. I know his PR there is solid, so he definitely has the potential. Could easily win, but we'll see if he redeems himself from last time. Both players readied up, and we'll start the countdown.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, both players will hop over the first hills here. Coming to the first big hill. It's funny, the first big hill there on the first time they went here, Bisso hopped and then like clipped a bit and lost some time, and then this time he didn't go for the hop at all. So I'm wondering if that was an adjustment or maybe he went for the hop and it was just too late. Anyway, both players coming up to the first room. Both have very clean mushrooms there. I know Bisso went into a wall one of the times last time, but both very clean that time. Yeah, this looks to be a pretty even race right now. Brian with a slight lead though. Bisso misses an MT, I believe. Bisso taking that corner a little tighter, but Brian's got the lead. Brian having a very clean race so far. I think both players are going to have like a 114 there. Or a low 115. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But we'll see. Yep, low 115s for both. Brian with a 0.17 lead. So very small lead, especially for such a huge track. It's the second largest track in the game. Lots of technical spots, although Bisso messes up a little going wide on there. So Brian will take a little bit of a big lead now. But Bane's into the wall a little, so Bisso looks like he's gained a little bit of that back. I believe Brian's still in the lead now. Going to the second mushroom. Bisso banes into the wall a little, but doesn't tumble, so he's still right in this. Yeah, Brian with close to a second lead, I'd say. Coming up to the big jump at the end. He's definitely had another pretty clean lap, I'd say. Although Bisso might have had finished those corners a little cleaner. So I think Bisso's still very close behind, less than a second, I'd say. Which on Wario Stadium is not much of a lead. Oh yeah, wow. Bisso gained a lot of time at the end there, I think. So I think Brian's got just a 0.2 lead, which is insanely close. Yeah, this is neck and neck right now. Oh wow. This should be a pretty exciting finish to this one. Coming up to this part, Brian goes on the wall a little, but both players get their MTs off. Coming up to the last mushroom, we'll see how clean they get it. This was a very clean mushroom. Brian's clean but slightly wider. Man, this is really close. Bisso taking that a little tighter, I believe. So I think he might be pulling a small lead right now. Going to a wall a bit. Oh man, this is really close. I think Brian gained a little time when Bisso went to a wall, but I think Bisso did that part a little cleaner. Oh my god, Bisso gets stuck! Oh my god, how did he get stuck there? Brian with a huge lead now. Oh man. Looks like Brian's gonna take the race. Wow. Brian finishing with a 1:46.11. Bizzo's 1:47.43. What an insane finish. That's insanely close. Bizzo pulled away, and then it looked like he pulled away a little, and then, I don't know, got caught there. So, absolutely insane race. Brian takes the track, and we're tied 1-1 with set 4 now. That definitely has to be one of the closest Wario stadiums I've seen.
Select map.
So the pick goes back to Bizzo. We'll see where he goes. And Bizzo going back to Koopa Troopa Beach. So yeah, he took the race here last time after Brian spun out on a tree. So I think it's a pretty solid pick. I think his splits were a bit better on the clean ones as well. But yeah, I think it could easily go either way. Both players ready now, we'll count it down.
Okay.
Oh man, Bizzo getting really stuck. He must have lost like 3 or 4 seconds there right at the start. Yeah, maybe about 3 seconds. So Brian with a huge lead already. Brian could probably spin out a tree and he'd still have the lead. Brian having a pretty clean first lap, I'd say. 27.82, sub 28, pretty solid. Biz with the 30.94, so yeah, Brian with the 3.2 second lead. 3.22. We'll see if Brian can make the jumps though. That is point of high variance on the track. If he can make all the ramp jumps, dodge the trees, he should be fine. Yeah, Bizzo messing up on the cave exits as well here. 28.33 for Ryan. So Bizzo making up a small amount of time, but he's going to need a huge mistake from Brian to make this comeback. So yeah, he needs Brian to miss the cave jump here. Brian gets it cleanly and should be able to take the race now. Does the last mushroom, and he just needs to drive straight through the finish. It should be it. 1:24.02 for Brian. Solid race there versus Bizzo's 1:27 flat. So Brian with the 2-1 lead. he's got the next pick as well. So he's in a very good spot to possibly win the match here, but both players can win on each other's counter picks like very easily, as we've seen. So having the pick advantage might not be too big, although Brian is definitely saving a joker pick. So if he can win one of his counter picks to get to 3 tracks, then he could win on the joker. Brian going with DK's Jungle Parkway. Very high variance track. We saw Bisso go into the water last time. Brian had a fairly clean DKs, having under 2 minutes. Both players ready.
Okay.
Oh my god, Bisso no! Bisso going into the first corner right away, so Brian taking a massive lead immediately. Oh, Brian taking an aggressive jump though, and he makes it. Wow, Brian with a huge lead now. After that, yeah, that's pretty insane. Expect his lead to be around like 5 seconds or something. We'll see what it is though. Ryan was having a very good lap until that pillar on the bridge there. So Bisso bringing it back a little. Ryan also missing the AAA start, so 39.61 to 42.98. So this is not too far behind. It's not another question, even if Brian doesn't miss a jump. Both players having fairly decent jumps there and getting decent trims as well. I believe Bisso might be gaining a little actually, so yeah, it might come down to this lap 3. Should be pretty exciting. Coming out the cave here. Brian's first cave wasn't great, but that one was much better. Bisso gained about 0.4 there. Yeah, so he's got a lot of work to do still, but he can bring this back. I believe he had a cleaner section there. Brian with a better jump though, I think. Bisso's shroom wasn't nearly as good as Brian's there, so Brian pulling away should be able to hold this lead now. We'll see how the cave goes. Ooh, Bisso going pretty aggressive on that corner there. Saving a little time, I think. Yeah. See how this cave goes. Bisso definitely bringing it back. Brian winning by a few seconds there, 158.72 to 201.67. It's hard to factor in the the zoom in versus zoom out lag. Had no idea it would be that much. So Brian now up 3-1 in set 4. We are on match point. So if he wins one more track, he will win the entire match. We go to Bisso's pick though. Bisso has to make a huge comeback here. We also know Brian is saving a joker pick. So if Brian can get to his joker pick, then I'd say he's heavily advantaged right now. Anyway, Bisso gonna pick Luigi Raceway. Very close race than last time. Brian winning, I believe, just by 0.15. the leads went back like 0-1, 0-1, and then Brian took it by 0.15. It's pretty insane. Alright, both players ready.
Okay.
We'll see if we'll have another very close race here. So this is match point. Yeah, match point Brian. If Brian wins this race again, he will take the match. He won by 0.15 last time. Should be super close. Brian looking a little cleaner so far. Definitely has a small lead. So yeah, both players do 1-2-0 on this track. So we'll see how their first mushrooms are. Bisso's looked a little cleaner, I believe. Yeah, I think he might be taking the lead at the end of lap 1. I was totally wrong. Brian has the lead by 0.37. Anyway, 0.37, not much at all. Bisso could easily make this back here. Oh, Brian goes into the grass a little. Very close right now. We'll see how the second set of mushrooms are. Both players going into them now. Brian definitely has a slight lead here. Bisso picked up a little time there, 0.09. So very close. Going to the left. Oh, Bisso goes into the dirt. So Brian pulling ahead a little. See if Brian can hold this. Can Bisso bring it back? Can Brian hold it? I think Bisso's gained a little time, but it doesn't look like enough. But can he gain a little more on the last corner? Brian taking it fairly clean. Bisso goes into the dirt again, and it looks like Brian is your champion of tonight. The 140.72, 141.25. Great races to both players. Congratulations to Brian. Brian getting revenge from their match last time. Of course, Bisso being the winner of that one. I'm unsure if these players play 2 or 3 times in the league, but if they play again, it would be extremely exciting to see the tiebreaker between these two. So yeah, congratulations to Brian here. So yeah, great races by both players. It was a very exciting match. Yeah, a lot of tracks could have gone either way for sure. But Brian coming out on top this time. Great match to him. Yeah, make sure to follow these players on their Twitch for more high-level Mario Kart 64 action. Brian should be like twitch.tv/Briz BRIZZ879, I believe, and Bisso's I think is just twitch.tv Bisso20. So yeah, thank you so much for watching.